the MultiTap Gaming podcast. We have our usual suspects with us. Ams top left.
Cool.
Andan top right.
Yo.
CJ bottom right. And
how you doing?
Chuck's here with you as well. We are on episode 24 now. Very good for us. We're going to get straight into it though, but make sure to hit the like button, subscribe for more content. We actually have a lot of good content coming for you within the next couple of weeks. We're going to be doing all types of unboxings for the Xbox Series X. We're going to be doing controller unboxings. We're going to be doing headphone reviews, all types of game reviews as well. We're going to be doing debates coming up. But so yeah, make sure you subscribe for all of that content coming out very soon. Just before we get into it as well though, we're going to tell you the topics that we're going to be going through. So mainly today we're going to be speaking about the Cyberpunk issues that have been plaguing that game recently. We're going to be talking about how the PS5 is looking very huge right now. I'm not gonna lie, it's looking kind of big.
Massive.
We're gonna be talking about the controller impressions, because there's been a lot of people that have pretty much been saying that controller is the only thing that's looking next gen between the two consoles. And we're gonna be talking about Halo losing its key director, and the fact that possibly Assassin's Creed Valhalla might actually be running at 4K 60 but upscaled on the PS5. So again, just to remind you, hit the like button, subscribe, and getting straight into it though, we're going to be speaking about the games that we have been playing this week. Short and sweet. I've actually been playing quite a few games this week. I've been dabbling in a few. That's my favorite word, dabbling. But I've been playing. Been playing Sekiro. I've been playing The Witcher 3. I've been playing, what's that game called as well? I've been playing Nier Automata, or whatever it's called. I can't pronounce it properly.
Yeah.
But yeah, that game was actually kind of fun. I thought it was kind of trash at first, but I guess the 4K TV that I bought recently has changed my mind. But
okay.
But yeah,
you see that Nier Automata, it's one of those games that you have to complete more than once, isn't it?
Apparently, but I'm not going to do that. That's too long. I'll just watch the edits on YouTube. But yeah, that's pretty much what I've been playing this week. What about you guys, Ams?
What have I been playing? I went back to God of War to platinum that.
Okay.
I'm going to try and platinum a few of the PlayStation exclusives before PS5. Don't know how many will be possible.
Some challenging me. But you saw that I started platinum some games. It's like, oh, so you think you're the only one that can platinum games, DJ?
Definitely not what I thought.
Okay.
I said a while ago I was going to platinum the exclusives, and I just never got around to it.
Fair.
And then I just thought God of War is the first one. I've been honing my skills as a CM on pro clubs, but there's no one to play. All of our challenges are running, so I've been playing the division. And I've been playing. I bought. I got £10 off on Epic, so I bought Saints Row the Third remastered, which I'm really enjoying. I forgot how much I enjoyed that game, and it looks incredible, so I'm having a fun time.
Do you know if the Epic Games £10 thing is for everyone, or because I actually have a game that I kind of want to buy.
It was
Hades. Apparently, it's really good, but I'm not too sure.
It was with Rocket League. When they put Rocket League on, they said if you take that up, then they'll give you £10.
Oh, okay. All right, fair enough. Then. But what about you, CJ? What have you been playing?
I went back to The Last of Us and I platinumed that. So I wanted to get that done. This is why I believe my challenger in the top left there.
Wait, how am I the challenger? I'm a champion. What are you talking about?
Oh my gosh.
I think that's my 7th platinum. I was getting close to somebody, but he got the heads up and he's just starting to run away again. And then I whacked on I think it was Battlestar again. I started playing Battlestar, a Star Wars game. Battlefront, is it? I can't remember.
think it's Battlefront 2. Battlefront 2.
But there was something else I was playing this week. Slipped my mind now, but yeah, no, I just wanted to get.
I saw you playing. I think Doom.
That's it.
Was it Doom you were playing?
Yeah. I played a few games this week, but they've all just slipped my mind at the moment.
You played
Really interesting. Did I?
That was
Oh, yeah. I beat you, didn't I? Whitewash, I think.
Yeah. Everyone was beating me, and then I got comfortable, and then I whitewashed everyone and left. That's why I went. I just had to get comfortable and show levels.
But yeah, that's good to hear. That's good to hear, CJ. And lastly, but not least, and now what have you been playing?
So obviously every week FIFA, but apart from that, I saw the trailer for Spider-Man Miles Morales, and I saw the new gameplay with the Into the Spider-Verse suit. And I was like, nah, I need to go back and play this game again, innit? So I started playing Spider-Man again, innit? But that Into the Spider-Verse suit, madness, absolute madness. Boy, I'm ready for this game. You don't even understand, innit? So yeah, it was good. Yeah, so. No, I've only ordered the normal one because I'll probably just play the PS4 one on the PS5, innit? Yeah. And I'm sure there's probably a way that if you really want to get the next gen upgrade, you could probably pay that £20 or something like that anyway. So
down the line they will. They're like, a lot of companies say, oh, you can only get this with a purchase, and then down the line they're like, okay, you can get it now.
Yeah.
Just
do that. So yeah, that's pretty much what you've been playing. Let's not lie, you've just been playing FIFA. But yeah, let's get into the first topic. Speaking of the PS5, really, a lot of first impressions and unboxings finally that we pretty much saw that a lot of the media got their hands on the PS5 last week. They've come out and they've pretty much unanimously said this is a big beep. This is a big guy. This guy is not a joke. He's a huge guy. It's pretty much going to be like having a second PC, really and truly, when it all comes to pushing.
Listen, I saw one lady holding it up next to her. Yeah, I swear it covered her head and half of her chest. I was like, what? This thing, I don't know about it still. I don't know. It's massive.
What are your thoughts, Ams? What are your thoughts? Because let's not forget, you're actually
or the impressions.
The size. Let's not forget, you're actually getting the bigger version, the one with the bumper. So, so what are your thoughts? That's going to take up even more space. Oh, okay, you got a shelf. Okay,
I got a shelf that at the moment is just holding my PPE. So I'm going to move my PPE to my work bag and then put that shelf up, and then I can put both consoles on there.
PP. But anyway, CJ, what about you? What are your impressions?
You know what? Yeah, I was speaking to myself. Is this is it just too big? Is it not? But I think that consoles have changed over the years anyway. Like when I remember the first Xbox, I was like, I didn't really think it's big. But if I look back at it now, and I'll be thinking, yeah, that thing was humongous. But then when you had the first PlayStation and then you had the PS1. The size difference between them two was crazy. But when I really think back to it, it's like I never considered it or cared. I will always find space for that console. It will go where it needs to be. If I have to remove everything from my room to make sure it fits, it will fit.
Okay. This is my question now, because I know that this is except maybe Ams, because I think he's pretty much answered this question. All of us pretty much lie our PS4s down right now. Now that we all know, okay, this is actually a big guy, what orientation are we all looking to have it? And what kind of space do you actually have to put it in? What's going to happen with that?
For me, it still has to lie down, to be honest, because I like looking at the space now, I can't stand it up. If I stand it up, then it can't be in like the media center or anything like that. So, but lying down, I don't even know if it's going to fit there anyway. So... Listen, I don't know, innit? I might have to put it on the wall or something like that. I don't know where it's going, mate. Honestly.
Are you getting the physical one or the digital one as well?
The physical, yeah.
Okay, so you're actually getting the
so
bigger one as well.
You know, bigger is better, innit? So yeah.
What about you, CJ?
Yeah. You know, it's funny because I was thinking to myself, like it's been made so that it can stand up, yeah. And looking at it, I'm just like, it doesn't feel like it will be safe anywhere to be standing up something of that size. It's so easy to tilt and fall over. So, and then I'm thinking like most people are like, they might have it underneath their telly or beside it. That's a big console. It's either going to have to be behind it so it doesn't fall or drop off. Like if that drops, it's all over.
Yeah.
I can't afford to be like just leaving this console standing up. I'm going to make sure it lies down because I do not want that kind of stress.
Wait, if you've got little children running around the house, yeah, they knock that console down.
No.
They're gonna have to find the £450 somewhere. They're gonna
have to find a new home.
It's very true. It's looking bad. Me personally, I'm probably gonna have to stand it up. I guess I'm just gonna put it right behind my PC, just because it's like might as well stand it up. It will take up less space that way as well. The PS4 that I have right now actually is laid down, which is probably gonna get on my nerves a little bit more. The fact that I'm gonna have to stand this up now, but well, it happens. I'm getting. To be honest,
are you them people that like to see their console?
No, I don't really care. But what I am is I want everything to be black. I don't really like this whole white stuff. As soon as I can, I'm getting one of those plates from one of those websites that Ams has showed us, and I'm getting some black plates, and then I'm leaving it there. Imagine I'm pretty much paying to get black, which is nonsense. I'm paying even more. But yeah, that's the case for that. The second most important part of the PlayStation 5 is the controller, and a lot more people are impressed by this so far than the actual console, the PS5. Pretty much saying that is the best controller that they've ever used, that PlayStation has ever made as well themselves, which is high praise, because I think that probably the DualShock 4 is probably
a good controller.
Yeah, it's a very good controller. I prefer that kind of controller. I have little itty bitty hands, so fits in very well. Apparently the Xbox Series X controller is kind of still big, and the PS5 controller is getting bigger as well, which is I don't know if I'm going to prefer that, but let's see what happens with this controller. What are your thoughts on what you've been hearing about this PS5 controller so far, guys?
I think it's a W. From what people have been saying, this is the first time one of the big two has actually got away with innovating like the way Nintendo does. Nintendo seems to, other than the Wii U, they innovate with the console rather than putting in power. And these two consoles have tried with the Kinect and the PlayStation camera and all these different things, the Move stuff, to innovate, and it never really hit. And it seems like they're hitting with something that's new. I think it's a W.
I'm coming back in. Sorry, I actually have. Well, all of us do actually have Nintendo Switches. None of us.
I ain't gonna Switch.
Oh, sorry. Okay, three of the four of us have a Nintendo Switch. I don't personally feel like any of us actually use the Nintendo Switch innovative features like that when it comes to their controller, outside of using it in handheld mode. Personally, I don't really care for like the vibration that they have and stuff like that. The only thing I can say though is that I actually hope that PlayStation bring it with their games, because that's the one thing I can say with PlayStation. Their first party, they'll probably say, guys, for the first 2 years, make sure you use these features in our games. Make sure. And I'm saying this as someone that hasn't used the controller yet, so I can't really say how innovative these features actually are. But let's hope that they go more than 2 years, and let's hope that they go throughout the whole generation trying to use the innovative features. But yeah, CJ, what are your thoughts? Do you know what kind of features
Oh yeah, no, I was just thinking you might be right in the sense that it might be something they've brought out now just to like win in terms of the battle between Xbox and PlayStation. And you're right, like the first few games will start to see these features used heavily, or they'll make like smaller versions, smaller games or add-on games where you will really see the benefits of it. But I have a feeling it will kind of be like VR, where when it's first coming out, there was excitement about it, and then it kind of just phased out. I could be wrong. There might be some people that really enjoy using like the VR features and they buy all their games for it. But I think it looked exciting, and it went. And I feel like it could be quite similar with the remote control feature. Like, the first few games are going to be like, yeah, look, make sure, da, da, da. And then after that, people will just go back into, standard gaming. It's not going to be something, because you have to think, if it's only the PS5 console that has these features, or the controller that has these features, then people that are making games that are for both consoles or all consoles, you're going to make. Like, will it affect it when you're actually playing those games? So for example, if it's Call of Duty, and you're playing it on PlayStation, and you're getting different features than what you're going to get on the Xbox because the controllers are different.
Well, it depends how easy they make it to implement.
Yeah. For me, I think the features will be used. I think the only gimmicky one is probably the touch bar, because even with the PS4, but stuff like the haptic feedback.
Don't you know that there's one that you actually blow into the controller, and you're talking about that?
You never listen.
That's the mic, though. That's just the mic's a big feature.
Ghost of Tsushima, when you're using that pipe here, you never know. They might say blow into controller. You never know, innit? But like stuff like the haptic feedback, that will be used heavily. Like the adaptive triggers, it will be used heavily and stuff like that. But I still think the touch bar, I still think they don't really know what they're actually going to use it for. And it was literally like you press it and the map opens up, like stuff like that in it. But yeah,
I think they will use all the features the whole way through, because the touch bar, which wasn't as good as these features, like when the touch bar came out, people said, I don't know what they're going to use this for. Whereas this controller, people are saying these are amazing features. So I think they will use it the whole way through. The same way they use touch bar in games up until Ghost of Tsushima, was still using it.
You're playing at the Qatar.
But for me, I think I think the touch bar was still gimmicky on PS4. I think it was literally like they just felt like, oh, we have a touch bar, let's try and make something with it, in that kind of thing, innit? But the way people are praising the PS5 controller, I think it will be used very well, and a lot of people have used it on Astrobot, and they're saying even little things like walking on glass and then walking on stone or whatever, you literally feel the difference in it. So
that's definitely one of those features that we need to feel ourselves with it in our hands to actually know what that experience is going to be like. So that's the thing, that with that, it could be where when we actually get our hands on it, we're like, nah, all right, cool. But it could also be like, oh my gosh, like this is transformative. So we kind of have to.
The triggers are going to can be serious if they implement them properly.
Yeah, I think definitely out of what Andan is saying is very true. If anything, it's going to be the adaptive triggers and the haptic feedback that are going to really show whether the controller is really that innovative. But we have to kind of wait till we get our hands on that. Really excited about that. Oh my gosh, it's so annoying that we actually get it.
Sony, send us one if you can, please. Yeah, thanks.
You know what I think they've done? They haven't tried to innovate the way you play. They've enhanced the way we already play. I think that's why it works. So they didn't try and bring us a brand new controller that's completely different. We already know how to use a pad. They've just added stuff to the pad we already use to make it better. And I think that's why this may work better than anything they've implemented before.
Yeah, that's very true. Because we always use triggers, and we always have had Rumble for quite a long time. So they've transformed those. Let's see how it goes. I'm really annoyed that we're getting it a week after everybody else goes. Mate, that's tragic, man. After I've spent so much on PlayStation, this is how you do me.
I'm getting it. If you pre-ordered from a store and you're in the UK, boy, have fun with that one.
Yeah, it's difficult times right now. But Speaking of PlayStation, though, let's get back to that console and its performance. This is going to be quite a short topic, but right now, apparently Assassin's Creed is running at an upscaled 4K 60. Now, I know what you're all thinking. Who gives a damn about Assassin's Creed? None of us care. And you're very right. I know that's what you're thinking. But the thing is, it still sets a precedent of what this console is about, really and truly. From out the gate, for a current gen game, as they're calling it, this game is running at upscaled 4K. So is that a signal for things to come? Because really and truly, right now, the thing that I really wanted to experience would be, whether it doesn't need to be 60 frames, but I would really like to see a native 4K
4K, yeah.
and Naughty Dog game. Do you know what I mean? Because The Last of Us 2 was at 1440p. So if we're not even making that big of a jump, what they're probably going to do is more like an upscaled 4K for their next gen, for the PS5 version of their next game, or maybe even like a checkerboard version or something like that. So what are your thoughts, guys? What are your thoughts? Is it that big of a deal?
What?
Do you not think they can reach 4K on the next game if they were able to do it on the Pro?
They didn't do it on the Pro, that's my point.
Sorry, if they were able to reach 1440 on the Pro, which is a lot less powerful than the PS5, do you not think first party with optimization that would be better than all the third parties will be able to reach 4K natively?
That's a good question, and this is my point. I want a discussion. What are your thoughts, guys? Do you think they would be able to do it?
I think even thinking about this gen, so the PS4 and Xbox One X, a lot of people always said that working with the Xbox was so much easier. It was easier to hit 4K and stuff like that because the console is more powerful and the Xbox Series X is going to be more powerful also. So doing stuff in 4K is going to be so much easier than PS5. But I think it's probably one of those. Well, first of all, like this is going to be the first Assassin's Creed on PS5 to begin with, or whatever. So obviously, you're learning in it. But I would expect Ubisoft when they make their next Assassin's Creed or whatever game, Far Cry 6 or whatever that comes out, I would expect that now they know how to implement 4K, they'll be able to do it. But I still generally think that a lot of games will probably look marginally better on the Xbox anyway. So because it is a more powerful console at the end of the day. So yeah.
That's very true. CJ, what about you? Do you think it's a big deal for you? Because I know that you're looking to invest in a 4K TV very, very soon. Are you really going to feel like investing in that TV and then not actually getting the full experience? How are you going to feel about that?
So I kind of felt like it should be a normalization at some point where all games will be made in 4K and be performing at that level. But I do think it's like I said to you before about the old, being HDMI ready or 3D ready before everyone's actually going to be making or producing games at that quality. So even getting the TV now, I feel like one or two games, a few of the big developers will be able to produce in 4K, but I think the majority of games they're not going to peak at that. I think it will be the next maybe one or two games before they all kind of upscale to that level. So yeah, I don't feel like I'm going to see a massive difference. Like when I first put this console on, I think one or two games where I know the 60 frames are there, and I know there's a bit more effort being put in. But I think the majority of games, I honestly don't believe I'm going to see a massive jump straight away. I think it's going to be 6 months to a year down the line. A lot more excuses start to come out, and I'm really going to start to see the difference of what these consoles can do. It's the consoles are only just coming out. I mean, obviously they've been in development for years, and they are kind of making themselves ready for it. But it's like anything, until it goes out in the masses, they're not going to be able to really maximize what they can do with it. They've put all the pieces in place for it, but I don't think everybody's there yet. So yeah, it'll be a wait and see for me.
But I think, by the way, to answer your question about Naughty Dog as well, yeah, because obviously The Last of Us 2 was one of the best looking games on this generation or whatever, and that was in 4040p. We played it on the old PS4, and it was clearly the best game that we've ever looked at, kind of thing, or whatever. So I
Speak
think
for yourself, big fella.
no, you know, I don't want to hear you say Doom Eternal. You
No, I'm not even saying Doom Eternal.
But the level of detail that they were able to put in such little things and stuff like that, and now you have a much more powerful console. They'll probably have a lot more time and so to make the next Uncharted or whatever game that they want to put out next. They will be able to optimize it and then get 4K, and it's going to look out of this world once the PlayStation studios start making their own games. So God of War up where I don't even want to even think about what it's going to look like, man. It's going to be real life. I'm telling you.
Death Stranding too.
Get out of here. Look at this guy. Wait, I have the power to kick people from the Discord, you know.
I don't care how you feel about that game. That game was better looking than 99% of the games out there.
Oh, man.
The game looked
If I want to go for a walk, I'll go to the park.
No, do it in the game. It's lockdown. You can't leave your house. Walk in the game.
You're allowed to exercise. Yeah, that's it.
But yeah, let's talk about the actual best looking game of this generation.
Oh, God.
Cyberpunk 2077.
No, don't say that.
Baby.
The best looking game in this generation. That ain't
When
coming
that-
out.
Don't compare to The Last of Us. That's what I'm saying now.
When that game comes out, it's gonna be on the day that PS5 releases. That's gonna be the day that Ams cries during a video game. It's gonna be like, this game is beautiful on my 4K TV.
He probably would cry, but unfortunately, he ain't coming out November.
I don't know what dates you're expecting.
Yeah, so pretty much getting onto what Andan is hinting at. The game was delayed until the 10th of December. We all know about this. I don't know about this game. It was meant to come out on the 19th of November. I don't know. Okay, to be honest with you, I'm still excited, very excited for the game. Let's not pretend. I believe that all of us are still very excited for the game. It's very disappointed that it's been being delayed, but yeah, we all know about the delay. Right now, a lot of investors are actually pulling out of the game. They've lost confidence, I guess. The shares of CD Projekt Red has actually gone down by 25%. I believe it's been said in the media. What are your thoughts on that, guys? Do you think it's going to affect the maybe the marketing that they have? Do you think they're going to have to lower it down or something? Do you think it's going to affect them in any kind of way? And then you first.
Well, first of all, Jamal's asking when it's coming out, and he believes it's coming out in 2077. Which
That's what I said.
yeah, which may actually be the case. To be honest, it might come out in 2077.
I've been preparing you for this for a very long time, Jamal.
Yeah, then we can wait anyway. But in terms of the stocks falling down, well, first of all, I don't think it's just that anyway. I think obviously coronavirus has impacted it a lot as well, because obviously CD Projekt Red hasn't released anything for a long time, so they're not really getting a lot of money in or anything like that. And I think their creative director made some comments recently about crunching again and stuff like that. People have been a bit upset about what they've heard as well, because he's just like, well, the crunch is not that bad, but crunching is bad in general anyway to even begin with anyway.
Apparently he lied to the investors about how bad the crunch was.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, but as you say, Tony, I genuinely believe when the game comes out, listen, if he pushes back this game again, he should forget about it anyway, But if the game comes out in December or whatever, and it's a Witcher 3 successor, then where the money's going to come rolling in anyway, and they will make that money back anyway, and the confidence will come back. Like once gamers see that, oh yeah, this game is a 10 out of 10 game, whatever, they'll happily wait when the next Cyberpunk or the next Witcher or whatever it is that they work on, they'll happily wait an extra 6 months, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, just to make sure that it's right in it. But that's the only thing that I hope that it comes out right and it's not you can't keep on pushing it back, and then it's going to be a buggy mess on launch.
Yeah, that's apparently the reason why they pushed it back in the first place.
Yeah,
because they just really want to make it perfect. But the main reason apparently is that they actually the game is able to run perfectly on PC, the PS5, Xbox Series X and S, but it's actually the current gen consoles that have a problem right now. So the PS4, the Xbox One, and they're not bringing it to the Switch. I don't know, I was about to say that, but yeah, those consoles right now, it makes sense. They have hard disk drives, they don't have SSDs, which is what they've actually recommended for people when it comes to playing this game on PC. So it makes sense that they were just able to transition and transform the game from the PC version down to the PS5 and the Xbox Series versions, and just ready to go. But there's a lot of fine tuning that they're gonna have to do with this Xbox and PS4 version. Once that news came out, that kind of just made me say, phew, okay, they have 6 weeks now to pretty much polish that version. It should come out on the December the 10th. Somebody's gonna clip that and send it to the group once it's been delayed again.
Tony, I want to remind you as well that you actually owe us PS5s.
Nah,
I'm not. You do.
I've been waiting to drop this bombshell. Doesn't even know yet.
Pretty much what I said for people that are watching. I said that this game is going to be Game of the Year if it comes out this year. If it's in the running, obviously now it's
no. You said it's going to win Game of the Year.
You didn't say that.
That was even a bold statement. Like, they weren't in games this year. They had to go up against The Last of Us 2, which was critically acclaimed.
It was still gonna
they're
win.
going to give it to the Cyberpunk, a game no one's played.
It was still gonna win. I know for a fact this game is gonna be marvelous, fantastic, everything basically. So CJ, what about you? Yeah, go on.
It's funny because I've just been sitting there thinking, like, every time we speak, even when it's not on the podcast or it is, Tony speaks about this game, and I'm like, at this stage, he's made me want it even more than I was expecting I wanted it anyway. But I can accept that this game is not ready. I'm not giving it no date. I'm just like, I know it's coming and it's going to be great. Whereas Tony has specific dates set in his mind, and every time he's like, yes, this is the date, I'm sure. And then they come back like, nah, not again. And he's like, yeah, but you know what, guys, it's all right because now they've said it's this date. We're going to be okay. It's good. It's like, I've never seen such heartbreak in my life. Every week. But I love it. I love the destruction of Tony sometimes. So. They can keep delaying it as much as they like. At the end of the day, we're all going to buy the game. Everyone's going to buy it. I mean, like, this kind of shock of the shares and stuff at the moment, I don't think it's going to do much damage to them. If anything, it's just they're just going to see. I personally, I think they're doing it where they've dropped the shares now, so people sell off quick because they don't want to lose out on investments. And as soon as that game comes out, then shares are going to go sky high. People that are going to buy back those shares is probably going to be the developers themselves. They're going to buy back a lot more because they've seen people are ready to put the game. The interest in the game is so high. They're going to make a killing. So whether it's this year or not, I don't see. The only thing for me is I don't see why they're so fixated on making sure that they can play it on the previous consoles. I don't know why that is. I thought, I know obviously, they want to maximize their money. Not everyone's going to buy a next gen console straight away. However, the fixation around if you do it right and the game is that perfect, your game could be the difference as why someone could buy a next gen console sooner. Because they can't play on their older consoles, you move them onto the next console and you win across the board. But they may see it that, if you can spend on all the consoles, they're going to make more money.
Yeah.
So I guess you hold off, you wait, get it out on them first. But at the risk, In fact, they have no risk because anyone that wants to buy it on the next gen console is still going to buy it. Look at Tony.
Yeah.
He's itching. At the moment, he's itching.
Yeah.
And even if they bring it on, he might buy it on the old console first and still buy it on the new console anyway.
Yeah.
So I think they're all right.
This guy said he has The Witcher 3 on 4 different platforms.
You know they're safe.
I think it's the backlash. They'll get backlash from fans if they don't put the current gen one out.
Yeah,
because people have been waiting for this game from the start of the generation.
Pretty much.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, the game was actually announced before the next gen. The current gen consoles came out. So, but that will. There's 2 more topics that we have. We're gonna make them short and sweet. I know that some people have stuff to do, so this one's kind of a small deal. Halo have actually lost their director, Chris Lee. He's a key director of the game. This is really bad news, man. This is not looking good for. If Cyberpunk
person they've lost, isn't it?
Yeah, if Cyberpunk looked bad, this is looking even worse. They showed gameplay this year. It looked terrible. Now they're losing the director. They're pretty much getting people in to make the game now, which means that it's like, what are you saying that the game's gonna come out in like 2022, or is the game still coming out this year? Like, are you rushing to bring the game out? You're saying that you will bring out multiplayer early and then the single player later. It's like, what's going on? I don't know.
Messy, very messy.
Yeah, I don't know. What are your quick thoughts on that, guys?
This is not good because, well, first of all, they got that backlash to even begin with, but it just shows, like, especially this is Xbox's baby at the end of the day. So if they're like probably their number one selling exclusive game is looking trash, like it's going to spell out so many problems for them in the future, because people are going to look at that and they might be waiting for it, and then they're like, well, if Halo is not it and this is your best game, why should I get an Xbox? Because maybe Forza is not going to look that good, or maybe Crackdown 4 is not going to look that good, or whatever. And so
please don't make
but yeah, what's called it's not good at all, man. Yeah, I think they've clearly lost their direction at the moment. This game is not coming out early 2021. There's no way. Yeah, it's going to come out sometime end of next year, if that. Yeah.
I don't see it.
And if they lose that much confidence as well across the board, it's like I said, they could lose the whole battle for the next gen console. If you're losing confidence in some of your top games, what makes me think that this is not gonna come across the board in all directions? You're gonna be, there could be a real uproar and panic, and they've invested a lot of money.
Definitely.
This is crazy.
When was the last Halo released?
I want to say 5 years ago. So
I feel like 2015.
Yeah, I believe it was 2015, around that time. So it's pretty much had a whole development cycle, and it looks like that still. So that's kind of shocking. It's really bad. But we'll move into the last and final topic. We're gonna see some bad faces right now. AMD.
Let me prepare myself for this. I've got my notes to stand.
Oh my god! AMD have pretty much revealed their big Navi GPU cards, and they're looking a bit sweet. So they're looking very, very good, very competitive in both price and performance. So it's looking very good for them on that hand. Just to give you some context as well, that the fact that they're competing with their biggest competitors in the high range type of thing is like a big deal, because a lot of people in the media, in gaming in general, actually felt like they can never compete. Nvidia are just too good at what they do, and that's why they're never going to be able to compete. So the fact that they're actually beating them out of the gate, first attempt at making a big GPU like this, is kind of very impressive. Fair enough, we haven't actually got it in our hands to see if the performance actually matches what they're saying. But what are your quick thoughts on that, guys? CJ, you first.
I was going to say that recently, a lot of people have been saying that AMD's Ryzen's are now better than Intel as well. So
Yeah.
for them to get better than Intel, because a lot of people always saw AMD as the cheaper option,
Yeah.
I'm generally not surprised that they're able to compete with Nvidia. For them to make it even better than Nvidia is a bit mad. Like, yeah, that one I don't know about that. That's a bit mad, but yeah, I'm genuinely not surprised. Like, they've clearly been developing themselves or whatever, and yeah, they deserve the work they've put in it. So yeah.
And
what evidence do they have that it's better at the moment? What's the evidence that it's better?
Benchmarks.
Benchmarks. It's pretty much just meaning they've compared to their biggest competitor and put the game at the same settings and seen how frames per second, how many frames per second more they can get, pretty much. So that's the in terms of performance. That's why I was saying we actually need to get it in the hands of the people that can do the proper benchmarks to see if what they're saying is actually true. We'll wait for that, but that kind of just makes things more exciting for the next gen consoles in a way as well. Just kind of elevates things, means that we're actually getting good performance with these Zen 2 GPU. I mean, Zen 2 CPUs and
CPUs,
and these Navi RDNA 2 GPUs as well. This is probably going to be the generation that we may not need to get a mid-gen refresh like we did with the PS4 and the Xbox One, but we'll have to wait and see. Ams, do you have any closing comments about that?
I think it was just a matter of time before AMD made a big step to take the crown, because they've been the go-to for gaming for a while now. And even if you want to blow, like if you want the biggest and the best, you're probably going to go for a Threadripper.
Yeah,
so you're going to them. They've got a GPU now that on paper is as strong as Intel's best card, which means they can compete on every aspect. Their CPUs are better for overclocking. So at this point, there's so many things there that they have the one up on Intel that Intel has to respond somehow. But they've just released all their new stuff, so they're not responding at the moment. It's expensive.
Yeah. So, but yeah, we'll have to see how the next gen consoles turn out and those new GPUs as well once people get their hands on it. But that's going to be the podcast for this week. Coming very soon is going to be a little debate between me and Ams, between a couple of games that we actually like. We're not gonna give you the details because we just want to tease you, make sure you come back. But make sure you like and subscribe and hit the hit the bell button for all the content that we're gonna be putting out in the next couple of weeks, and comment on any of the subjects that we actually spoke about if you have any thoughts on that. And we will catch you on the next episode of the podcast. Take care.
Peace.